In this episode, we're going to look at some fraud. Yes, that's right, fraud. People that sell this crap on Amazon should be strung up with the cables that they're selling because they're an absolute ripoff. I had a friend that was looking for an HDMI to composite or component adapter, and I was telling him about one that I had. And so he goes to Amazon and he looks up. He was looking, say, to hook up an old TV. And I was telling him, get one of these things. And, but being the cheap person that he is, he saw all these different adapters and he sees cables. So, 1080p HDMI male to RCA RGB cable. So he buys one of those things. And this is what they send him. Now, you know that this is not going to do anything, right? Like, HDMI is a digital standard. I have no idea what the hell this thing's going to output. But it's certainly not going to output a composite or a component signal. There's no conversion in this. The other devices, like the ones that I've got, they actually have active electronics and they do a conversion from 1080 down to 480 or 720. This is just a cable. But the problem is, you'll get these crooks out there selling these things and people will buy them thinking, well, that's just what I need. I just need something to convert it over. And anyway, neighbor bought this thing, brings it over and says, I bought this cable to allow me to plug my Blu-ray player into my TV that only has component inputs. And he's trying to explain to me. He says it's got the red and the green and the blue, and it's got the white for audio, but it's got a yellow one. Like, where's the other red one? And I'm saying, what are you talking about? He says, well, I'll bring this thing down and show it to you. And well, this is what he got. So I said, I think he got ripped off. So he says, maybe you could take a look at that and tell me what it does. I can tell you it's not going to do anything, but let's just have some fun with it. Anyway, I'm looking at this this cable. I'm like, what the hell is this thing? These are being flogged on places like Amazon, and they're saying HDMI to component, HDMI to AV. And I'm thinking to myself, HDMI is a digital signal. What exactly are these guys trying? What are they pulling? Obviously this is just a cable they've broken out some of the outputs from here to an AV cable, but what exactly are they trying to accomplish? So I thought, let's take a look at what exactly is on these signals. So I'll take the HDMI out from my cable box and we'll see whether we can actually get any signals out of this. So I'll get my scope going here and we'll take a look and see whether there's anything being fed out of any of these outputs. But it's not a video signal. It's a digital signal of some type. Which is what you would expect to see, because this is an HDMI cable. Now I'm just curious as what will happen if I actually take this converter box and just switch the resolution down to standard definition. Is that going to change what comes out of the HDMI connector as far as signals? Okay, now I've got standard definition displaying on the TV through the SD output. I just want to take a look and see whether, when I switch it to standard definition, whether that changes any of these outputs. Still look to be a digital type signal. Which is really what we expect it to be, because HDMI, of course, is a digital output. So I really don't have any clue as to why they are selling these cables. You know, maybe someone else has an idea. The only thing I can think of is perhaps they're selling these as a breakout cable so that you can extend them longer runs. I don't know. The guy that's got this actually has two of them. What would be interesting to try is to take the two cables, plug it into HDMI, and then put the blue to the blue, the yellow to the yellow, the red to the red, the green to the green, and the white to the white, because that would be 5 pairs through, and see whether we get the same signal out the other side. I have a sneaking suspicion that is what these are for, is so that if you've got component cables in your wall, for example, if you've got 5 runs of coax, that you could take these signals, feed them over coax, and then put them back to HDMI on the other end. Now, of course, you're going to end up with a heck of a lot of loss doing that, because an HDMI cable pair is actually a twisted pair. It's not going to work very well going over to coax. Let's see what happens if I just listen to the sound off this thing. Put this up to my audio input. That actually sounds like video, doesn't it? But it's not. Anyway, that's these useless cables. Again, I haven't figured out what they actually sell these things for. I get the sneaking suspicion that what these are being sold for is for someone that's going to put 2 of them together and extend it over coax or something, right? Anyway, if you see this crap, don't fall for it. The fellow that bought this thought it was going to be a cheap way to get his TV that doesn't have HDMI to work with an HDMI cable box. So he bought a couple of these things because they were cheap, and didn't ask me about it first. When he talked to me about it, I told him, no, you need ones that convert, and I showed him one of the converters that I have that actually has active electronics. These are just a straight through cable. Again, I haven't figured out what the heck they're for. But if someone else knows, maybe you can tell me, because I think they're just an entire waste of money, and the people that are selling them are just out there looking for people that don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching this one. I've got some more coming up here real quick. I've got a couple things. Well, you'll see the next one. The next one's going to be a, I don't know what this thing is. It's probably a Crossley. I got to service it. I'm not looking forward to it. I know it's going to be a piece of junk, but we'll take a look inside it. Thanks for watching.